Hey everyone, Jamie here. I want to talk about the importance of trust, self-trust, and trust in the universe. Because if we have those two elements, then nothing else matters. Like, think about it. If you trust the system and you say, I know how this works. I focus on being the version of myself that is a match for having the things that I desire. And I show up and I be that version of myself. And I embrace the beliefs and the wisdom that that version of me has. I mean, if you trust the universe, then it means that even when something seemingly bad happens, you just know in the depths of your soul, like, well, this is on path. This is the path of least resistance to me connecting with the thing that I desire. This came up for me because in my breathwork session today, my intention was I intend to more deeply trust myself and trust the universe, allowing me to be more playful and relaxed and present in any given moment throughout the day and in all areas of my life. By the way, how amazing is it that I can just regurgitate that? Like, change is happening in my brain and I am loving it. So what is interesting is in my breathwork session, I didn't even realize it at first. I wasn't paying attention. But in the breathwork session, as my nervous system is unwinding this stress and trauma and wounding, as is what happens in breathwork, what came up were multiple incidences in the past couple years of where I was betrayed, where I was totally let down, where I gave everything I had and I was as loyal as you possibly could be to a fault. Almost, I was more loyal to others than to myself. And I was taken advantage of. I was betrayed. I was let down. I was blindsided. And it happened multiple times. And then at one point I was like, what the fuck is going on? I recognized, I was like, what the fuck? This just happened, and then that just happened, and then that just happened. Like, what the actual fuck? And I was like, I do not want this to happen again. What is happening here? What does all of this mean? It's interesting. And I don't have my breathwork notes in front of me, but I journaled on it for like a page. And I don't even know how valuable this video is going to be, other than our ability to trust ourselves and to trust the universe truly is the foundation that we want in order to effortlessly manifest our desires in any area of our life. Because when those things happened to me, I was like, why was I an energetic match for this? What subconscious programming is like flowing within me that like opened me up to this happening? And why is it repeating? This is clearly a cycle I am in, and I want to break this cycle. It's not okay. And it was embarrassing. I was resentful. I was full of resentment. Basically, I had a very human reaction where instead of going, oh, that's interesting, that happened, and this is my reaction, and this is how I got triggered, this is what it looked like, here were the thoughts I was thinking, here are the feelings I'm thinking. Oh, that is, that's what's stuck inside of me. That's what needs to release. What are the beliefs that I need to shift and upgrade here? Like, instead of like mechanically disassembling the situation and like troubleshooting it and moving forward, because it was my own life and I was in it, I had a very human reaction. And of course, I was surrounded by people who were like, this is not okay. You did nothing wrong. Like, this is, that's terrible. Et cetera, et cetera. So I was surrounded by that. Let's see how many times my daughter calls me and how many times I immediately turn off her call that she gets she's going to come bursting. So it's a synchronous learning day for her today. So that means she's home instead of at school because of icy conditions. And let me tell you, it has really thrown my day for a loop. Like, it's been a fucking shit show. And I was actually kind of in a bad mood. I couldn't do my breath work when I wanted to. I was doing my alignment work and she burst into my room and told me that she had dropped her marker on her very, very expensive merch from one of her favorite musical artists that she just got for Christmas. Like, just one thing after another. So it was interesting because I actually have like sort of released all of that, and I realized like I never had a chance to make my daily YouTube video. And so, of course, the minute I sit down, me telling myself, okay, she's doing synchronous learning in her room. Now's a good time to get this in. There's still a way for the interruption to happen. And what's beautiful is that interruption triggers me. If that interruption triggers me, it allows me an opportunity to get in touch. What was I just thinking? What was I just feeling? And then release that and anchor into more empowering beliefs and a different story that feels better. Because maybe that's the point of this video, is everything that's happening in our lives, we are giving it meaning. We are making it mean something, because as humans, we are meaning-making machines. Why? Because our brain is constantly trying to make sure that we're safe. Our brain has one job, and it is very primitive. Our brain cares about us living. Our brain cares about us surviving. So our brain is constantly deciding, right? Our brain is constantly filtering through everything that's happening around us, deciding what is a risk factor and what is not, what is unsafe and what is safe, what is dangerous and not dangerous, what is risky and not risky. In the snap of a finger, in a millisecond, our brain is making these determinations based on what we've always made it mean our entire life. It really just gives us more of the same, unless we intentionally are choosing to see it differently. And the bottom line is, what we make something mean makes all the difference in the world. My daughter came in here earlier and she had dropped a marker on her very expensive, brand new sweatshirt that's would be, I think, impossible to replace at this point, but maybe not quite impossible if you pay enough money. But the bottom line is, she walks in, and what I made it mean in that moment was like, ugh. Like, I was dramatic. Like, I didn't have a big reaction to her. Actually, but internally, I will admit to you, this isn't what I said to her, but I just sort of looked at her. I said, I'm doing my alignment practice, and she told me what happened anyways. And I said, okay, take the sweatshirt off and I'll see what I can do. And she was like, are you mad? And I just said, and I didn't say anything, which was kind of shitty. I could have said, no, I'm not mad. I'm just having a little bit of a hard time right now. But I didn't. I stayed silent. But what I was feeling inside was like, I'm so fucking over this. I'm so annoyed. I'm resentful that my morning hasn't gone as it should have gone. Like, I have a system, I have a routine, I have a ritual. And because your school decided to have a synchronous learning day, now my day is fucked, right? Like, this is like the swarm of thoughts I didn't even realize that were flowing, but they were. As I'm telling you right now, like, that's definitely the energy I was in. I was resentful, I was annoyed, I was frustrated, I was inconvenienced, right? None of that is me standing in my power, by the way. And by the way, none of that is the ultimate truth. Because that's what I chose to make it mean, doesn't mean that that's actually what was happening in that moment. By the way, I could have just as easily been in a great energy while I was doing my alignment work. This is the irony. It's not ironic at all. It's exactly as this actually isn't ironic at all. It is as designed. This is by design. This is manifestation by design. I had just written in my fucking alignment journal, I am so beyond grateful for my beautiful children. I'm not joking. And not 5 minutes later, one of those beautiful children walked in and I was like, fucking fuck this fucking shit in my head, right? Like, I was just like, what the fuck? I had just activated. I was just activating the energy of like being so grateful for my children. And the universe immediately gave me an opportunity to anchor more deeply into that gratitude or not. And in the moment, because I wasn't being intentional and I wasn't being conscientious about it, I responded in an autopilot manner, which actually reflected some frustrations and limiting beliefs that don't actually serve me, that I need to release and upgrade in order to predominantly be in that energy of gratitude for my children. Did that make sense? Did what I just say make sense? Because it's like huge. I activated the energy. I'm so grateful for my children. Then what happened next? Anything inside of me that isn't a match for that bubbled to the surface to be released. Being annoyed with interruptions, being resentful that my day is changed because of the school day changing, not standing in my power, feeling powerless about my needs being prioritized, right? Like, I could just rattle off a bunch of things. That's what bubbled to the surface. Enter, the universe says, cue the child interrupting her. It's like a play. And the universe is like a narrator. So the universe sent the child into the room, and let's see how Jamie responds. Right? So I failed. It's fine though. I will repair it immediately after I make this video because I want to make this video. So there you go. I made it mean all these stupid things, but the truth is she could have knocked, she could have come in, and I could have been this here's the alternate universe. Here is a different realm of possibility that was totally available to me. Oh, hey, sweetie. What's going on? Is everything okay? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Well, hey, leave it here. Hopefully, I'll Google it and hopefully we'll find something. I'm sure it'll be okay. No, 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 no. I'm not mad. I love you. I feel like such an asshole, right? Like I feel like such an asshole knowing how I could have handled the situation if I were really anchored into that gratitude and love. But whatever, it's a learning experience. And here I am talking to you about it, processing it with you. And then, when I see her after I make this video, I'll give her a hug and I'll say, hey, by the way, I'm sorry I was grumpy earlier. I love you so much. And I'm doing what I can to work on that stain and it'll be fine no matter what. And I love you, I will repair that moment. And that's something else that's really critical to remember is like, ideally, we get it right in the moment, but we fuck it up all the time because we're messy humans. It's actually not required. We never have just one opportunity. We can always make things right. So I actually even believe this like with dead people. Like I genuinely believe this. It's never too late. We can always make something right. In fact, something that I have not played with a lot, but many of like the gurus or teachers I follow talk about it. And like Neville is one of them. Oh, what's it called? Oh, fuck, what's it called? It's basically, I've had multiple teachers talk about this, where you essentially remember your past differently. You literally you just go back to a traumatic experience that you had and like you choose to remember it differently. And revision. I think Neville calls this the revision process. And you literally just give yourself energetically, you bring yourself to that moment and you give yourself a different experience. And it literally affects how you be moving forward. Like I said, I haven't played with this a lot, but I'm super intrigued by it. And I love the idea and I'm 100% for it. It's never too late. That's the bottom line. It's never too late. So I fucked it up earlier. Whoops, universe, you got me. I messed up. Okay, but anyways, I'm going to make it right. And I'm going to anchor into lovingly being present, relaxed, playful, right? Just what that's what my intention was for my breath work too. Do you see how it all connects? So when we have an intention, when we're anchoring into something, when we're activating the energy of something, whatever is within us that is unhealed, that is wounding, that's old experiences, anything that is out of alignment with us moving forward in that energy bubbles to the surface to be released, to be processed and released. If we miss it, we do what I did earlier today. If we don't miss it, we go,